I'm Bex. I am a blogger at BexTalksSex.com. I'm a podcaster at the Dildorks, and now I'm on YouTube. So my plan for this space is to do some sex ed stuff, have snippets from my workshops, some of my favorite tips and tricks, things like that. I'm also going to talk about sex toys and do product reviews. For those of you who've been following me for a while, that's when I really started. I still do it occasionally, and I think videos are a really good platform for that. I'm also going to be using this space to talk a whole lot about trans stuff. Those of you that know me from the blog side of things know that I recently just put up a post about some of my thoughts and feelings about starting tea and hormonal transition and that sort of thing. For those of you who haven't seen it yet, you can check out the link. It's going to be in the thing below. Basically, I'm non-binary, but I identify as more transmasculine. I'm much more comfy with the word boy. I like presenting as a boy, presenting as masculine, and it's really starting to get intolerable, the sheer number of people that gender me as a girl every single fucking day. I've been presenting as masc for a while, but T just kind of felt like the next step. Uh, what was hard about it, though, was I don't have that trans narrative of always feeling like a boy or always knowing I was in the wrong body or hating my body. Like, yeah, I get dysphoric sometimes. The last few days have been rough. It happens, but there are also other days where I feel perfectly good in my body, where I look down and I think I look hot. Like, I'm a really cute girl. I'm just not a girl. But for the most part, I like my body well enough. Like, it's fine. It served me well. So it was really hard to kind of go into this and be like, all right, I don't hate this, but I also want to change it. Uh, and really the turning point was talking to my therapist and having her one sentence. She said, a lot of people don't realize this, but you don't have to be miserable about something to want to change it. Which is fucking mind-blowing, right? Like, I don't think society accepts change for anything unless you're not miserable, especially something as big as this. So I just got home from the doctor about an hour and a half ago, and I got tea. Problem is, my doctor didn't think my insurance was going to give it to me. She expected me to have to wait 2 weeks or so until the insurance approved it. So she told me she's not going to teach me my needle training and not going to give me the resources to go buy my needles until I get the tea. And she's like, we'll just set up an appointment 2 weeks from now, and you can do it then. And I was like, well, fuck. I mean, okay, sure, whatever. We'll do it. So set up an appointment 2 weeks from now. Then I go downstairs to the pharmacy. I'm at Apicha, which is a trans health clinic in New York City. They deal with patients on hormones all the time, so I figured they kind of knew what they were doing. I went downstairs to the pharmacy, explained the situation, and then the pharmacist handed me tea. Like, just gave it to me. And I was like, I can have this now? And apparently, yeah. I can have this now. So now I have tea with no syringes. My doctor had told me, let me know if they give it to you sooner. Call me up. We'll set up a new appointment. I said, great. I had the tea. I went back upstairs. The clinic is closed. So, I have tea and no needles. And I'm going to have to call the clinic back when they open tomorrow and be like, hey, so about those syringes, can we maybe put this stuff in my body? Because I'm impatient. So in theory, tomorrow, hopefully, I'll be able to get back in the next day or two and get the needle training so that I can actually start taking tea. And we'll see how it goes. Okay, so woke up super early this morning because I was super anxious. Hung around, waited until the clinic opened, called them up. Finally, I convinced them to squeeze me in for an appointment at 1 o'clock today to get my syringes and my injection training. Awesome. So, show up at the clinic, 12:45, like a fucking adult, sign in, do my paperwork, sit and wait. 1:15 rolls around, 1:30, 1:45. I've got work at 2, by the way. My boss knows this is happening. He knows I'm going to be late. Like, it's fine. But at the same time, kind of want to know what's going on. So I go up there, I'm like, listen, I know y'all squeezed me in. I really appreciate that. I'm not trying to be that guy, but I've been here a while. Do we know, like, when I'm going to be able to be seen, just so I can let my boss know how late I'm going to be. Person brings me up on the computer, takes my last name, whatever. Looks at me and goes, oh, did you sign in when you got here? Yeah, like, I show them all my paperwork and everything. I'm like, yeah, I've been hanging out. They're like, oh, because you were marked as a no-show. I've been right here, just sitting next to you. Whole time. Been here like an hour. So they're really apologetic. Like, the person I spoke to handled it well. That was not the person who checked me in. That person had left. Had not checked me in, rather, I guess. The person checks everything and is like, alright, so our next appointment is at 4. Can we see you then? Yeah, I guess! So went around the block to my job. My roommate was working. We went out, we got lunch, we hung out, whatever. Came back to the clinic at 4 o'clock. Finally got in to get my syringes, to learn how to do my injections. I am completely set up. There is testosterone in my body now. Well, more than there was before. And I'm all set up to do my injections once a week from now on. I was kind of nervous going into it because, I'm not squicked by needles. I can handle pain pretty well, but I was nervous about having to do it to myself. But super easy. Barely felt it. It didn't, feel weird or gross or anything, so that's chill. I'm going to be fine doing that from now on. Didn't notice anything after the first shot. Doctor told me not to expect it anyway, and I figured it would be fine. Kind of high energy the past few days, but I don't know if that's just the relief from the anxiety or if it's actually testosterone, because I know you can be kind of energetic on the first few days of your cycle and then kind of mellow out and be a little tired later on, which is part of why I wanted to do it weekly rather than with longer bursts in between. I wanted to kind of reduce those highs and lows as much as possible because my mental health does that all by its lonesome and it doesn't need any help. Yeah, so hopefully these videos will be a weekly thing and I'll be able to give you more updates on what's going on and when changes actually start to happen. Let's go puberty! Just rewatched that video and noticed my camera adjusts every time I move. Nah, I'm gonna have to figure out how to fix that.